8 comma rules. Commas can have a very important effect on what we say and how people understand what we say. Let's eat grandpa or let's eat grandpa. The first version implicates that we are going to eat grandfather. Correct punctuation can save a person's life. Our 8 comma rules. Rule number 1. Use commas in a series of 3 or more. You should be very familiar with this one. I need to buy eggs, milk, lettuce, and bread. 1, 2, 3, 4 items. I need to separate those by commas. I need to buy eggs, milk, lettuce, and bread. I do need to use a comma before and. Rule number 2. Use commas to separate independent clauses or fanboys. This is the way we create compound sentences. In green, you see my independent clause, I want to buy a new jacket. My second independent clause, it is too expensive. Remember, I must use a comma before my coordinating conjunction in order to create a compound sentence. Rule number 3, use commas to separate dependent and independent clauses in complex sentences. We're going to learn a lot more about this next week, but I want to provide you with all the rules. Without water, the plant will die. Notice I had a natural pause. Without water, the plant will die. Without water is my dependent clause. It's dependent because it cannot stand by itself. Followed by my comma, which is then followed by my independent clause, which is my IC. The plant will die. The plant will die is an independent clause or a simple sentence that can stand by itself. I create a complex sentence anytime I have a dependent clause in front of an independent clause. Rule number 4. Use commas to separate non-essential clauses or appositives. Appositives or non-essential clauses are simply extra information. For example, my mother, the science teacher, does not like chocolate. My mother, the science teacher, this group of words, the science teacher, is giving me more information or explanation of who my mother is. I set it off by commas before the group of words and a comma after the group of words. That group of words is known as an appositive because it's providing extra information about who my mother is. Rule number 5. Use commas to separate quotations. We're all very familiar with this rule. Anytime I have a direct quote, we need to buy more sugar, I need to have a comma here after sugar. My direct quotation followed by my comma. I have a direct quotation here. It needs to have a comma in front of it. Rule number 6. Use commas to separate introductory clauses. What is an introductory clause? When I start to say something, followed by a complete thought. Hi, how are you? Is actually followed by a comma. Hi, how are you? So hi would be my introductory statement or introductory clause. Rule number 7. Use a comma to separate the name of a city from a state. We all know this, sometimes we forget. I live in Chapel Hill, North Carolina. Chapel Hill is my city, comma, followed by the state, North Carolina. Rule number 8. Use a comma to separate the day of the week, the day of the month, and the year. Very simple, we often forget. Today is Thursday, April 18, 1943. Correctly written, today is Thursday, separated my day by the date, April the 18th, another comma, followed by the year. Those are all of your 8 comma rules. Now I want you to practice. I want you to copy the following sentences 1 through 4. Copy sentences 1 through 4 on notebook paper. Then I need you to add commas where they are needed. Please complete this assignment and turn it in for a grade tomorrow. Have a great evening.